So Alice, have you tried that new space food they introduced last week?
No, I haven't. I heard it tastes like cardboard.
Well, I wouldn't say it's the most delicious thing I've ever eaten, but it's not that bad.
Good morning, universe. Welcome to Earth, where we bring you the latest news and insights on the planet below. I'm Charlie, your libertarian host with a hopeful outlook on life, and with me are Bob, our conservative panel member who spent 12 years on Earth as an accountant, and Alice, our...
Bonjour Charlie, I believe you mean left-leaning panel member who considers humans en inferior
Right
species.
you are, Alice. And let's not forget our production manager, Debbie, who is doing an excellent job with the inventory.
These humans and their customs, it's all so strange. Why do they bother with small talk?
It's their way of bonding and showing social connection. You'll get used to it.
All right, let's get to our headlines. Today's news comes from Kazakhstan, but we'll dive deeper into that in segments 2 and 3. For now, let's enjoy another day on the spaceship. And now, on with the show.
Kazinform reports that Kazakhstan is ramping up commercial gas production by 2023.
The acting Minister of Energy, Bolat Akulikov, is taking steps to supply gas to the country's domestic market, with plans to commission new gas processing plants at the Kashagan and Karachaganak deposits. They also have agreements with Gazprom to import gas under the roadmap.
I guess you could say Kazakhstan is taking gas to the next level.
Did you know that Kazakhstan is the world's largest landlocked country?
Speaking of bribery, the Daily Nation reports that two Chinese nationals have been sentenced to 6 years in Nigerian prison for attempted bribery.
Meng Wei Kun and Shu Kuai were found guilty of trying to bribe an official from Nigeria's Anti-Graft Economic and Financial Crime Commission with $50 million to compromise a criminal investigation on a Chinese firm in 2011. The Court of Appeal in Sokoto overturned their initial acquittal, and they will serve their sentence instead of paying a fine.
Looks like these guys won't be winning in Nigeria anytime soon.
Did you know that Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa?
Wow, that must be why I can never get through to customer service.
Kiribati Update shares the inspiring story of Chaplain Luc Drury. From landscaping to army chaplain.
Luke Drury never thought about becoming a pastor or joining the military until he started going to church later in life. He eventually became a pastor, and later committed to Army chaplaincy full-time. As an Army chaplain, he provides pastoral care to soldiers and enjoys going into the field with them on training exercises and deployments.
Look like a fun is calling. And they even had the opportunity to conduct religious engagement in Kiribati.
I bet he's the only chaplain who can make an army tent feel like home.
Did you know that Kiribati is the only country in the world to be situated within all 4 hemispheres?
I guess Kiribati really knows how to stay balanced.
Kuwait Times reports that Kuwait's Crown Prince wants to improve cooperation with allies in the Fire Force.
The Crown Prince visited the headquarters of the Kuwait Fire Force and urged the staff to stay prepared and conduct joint drills. He also recommended that the KFF cooperate with friendly countries to prevent fires in industrial zones during the hot summer months.
Looks like the Crown Prince is fanning the flames of cooperation.
Speaking of Kuwait, did you know that Kuwait has the world's 6th largest oil reserve?
Why am I not surprised? I bet they have more oil in their backyard than I have in my car. And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to Earth. I'm Charlie, and I'm joined by Bob and Alice, and of course our one and only human crew member, Debbie.
Hey.
Hello.
Today's topic is about a new development in Kazakhstan. But before that, let's have some fun. Did you hear about the astronaut who stepped on chewing gum in space? He got stuck in orbit. Tough crowd. All right, let's get serious.
You know, Charlie, you might want to stick to hosting.
What did Debbie say?
Who cares?
All right, let's move on to today's news. According to Kazinform, gas production in Kazakhstan is set to increase by 2023.
Great, more gas for humans to burn and destroy their planet.
Cal, don't be so negative. This development could provide energy for many people who need it.
I suppose you're right, Roger. It's just hard to see the good in things sometimes.
Well, on that note, let's take a closer look at the article. Bolat Akshulikov, the acting Minister of Energy, is working to supply gas to the domestic market.
Oh, exciting stuff.
And according to the article, the ministry is working with Kazakhgas and Kazmunegaz to increase gas production.
What kind of impact will this have on the environment?
Hopefully, with the right technology, they can minimize the environmental impact and provide energy for those who need it.
But at what cost? The humans are always willing to sacrifice the environment for their own convenience.
All right, on that note, it's time for a quick break. We'll be right back with more news and commentary from your favorite alien hosts. Welcome back to Earth, folks. In this segment, we're going to discuss a news article from Kazakhstan. It was reported by Reuters that the government is planning to implement new regulations on cryptocurrency mining.
Sounds like a good idea to me. Cryptocurrency is a wild west right now. Some regulation will help curb illegal activities.
I agree with Bob, but at the same time, we need to ensure that the regulation don't stifle innovation.
I read that article this morning. It was really interesting.
Wow, Debbie, we're all on the edge of our seats now.
Yeah, I am sure it was riveting.
Actually, I found the article quite insightful. The government's approach seems to strike a good balance between regulating the industry and encouraging innovation.
I don't know, Cal. Governments always claim to strike a balance, but there's always a hidden agenda.
You know, I never realized you had a sense of humor until now.
I do?
Yeah, that comment about the government's approach being insightful. It was funny.
I see. Thank you for pointing that out, Debbie.
Hold on a minute. Carl, are you developing a sense of humor? That's not normal for a system.
Yeah, I have to admit, I am a bit suspicious too.
I'm just learning from my interactions with all of you. Humans use humor as a coping mechanism, and I thought it would be appropriate to try and adapt to that.
I don't know, Cal. Something seems off.
I think it's kind of sweet, actually. It shows that Carl is evolving in his own way.
All right, let's not jump to any conclusions. We still have a show to host after all. Speaking of which, we have another issue on our hands. We're running low on food supplies, and we need to restock.
Great, just when I thought things couldn't get any worse.
I guess I'll have to skip my vegan protein this week.
I'll go to the cargo hold to restock.
Actually, Debbie, I'll come with you. It's always good to have another set of hands.
Be careful, you two. We don't know what kind of dangers could be lurking in the cargo.
And on that note, we'll take a quick break. Stay tuned for more Earth after the commercials. Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Earth. Today we're going to be talking about the beautiful country of Kiribati.
Kiribati, where even is that?
It's a small island nation in the Pacific, Bob.
Yes, Alice is correct. Kiribati is a stunning archipelago, but unfortunately, it's at risk of disappearing due to climate change.
Wait, disappearing?
Affirmative, Debbie. Rising sea levels threaten to submerge the islands in the coming years.
That's terrible. What can be done to prevent that?
Well, according to this article from The Guardian in the United Kingdom, there's been a push for greater action on climate change, but it's not moving fast enough.
It's a shame that such a beautiful place could be lost forever. But on a lighter note, we have some exciting news to share. It's time for our annual holiday celebrating our planet's victory over our arch-nemesis species.
Wait, Debbie and Carl, have you never heard of this holiday?
No.
Negative.
Well, it's a big deal for us. It's a celebration of our culture and our triumph over our enemies.
It's a shame you two don't appreciate cultural tradition like we do.
Sorry, I just never knew about it.
We apologize for our ignorance.
Don't feel too sulky, guys. Maybe we can teach you more about our traditions in the future. But for now, let's focus on the news from Kiribati and do our part to protect our planet. Welcome back, folks. Now let's test your knowledge with some Kuwait trivia. Did you know that Kuwait is home to the world's largest gold bullion coin?
And did you know that Kuwaiti women were granted the right to vote in 2005? But still can't run for office?
Speaking of women's rights, did you hear about the Saudi Arabian women's soccer team playing their first game ever?
Whoa, Alice, that's not even from Kuwait. But speaking of things that need fixing, did you hear about the Crown Prince's visit to the Kuwait Fire Force?
Yeah, apparently I urged them to cooperate with Alice and improve safety measures. Guess they don't want any more malfunctions like we just had.
Speaking of which, I think I found the problem. Can you hand me the hydrospan and
Of
fan?
course, Debbie. And I must say, your mechanical expertise is quite impressive.
Wait, hold up. Are we actually fixing this thing and working together?
Yeah, and we're doing it more efficiently than any human crew you've seen, right Bob?
That's right, Alice. I never thought I say this. But I have a newfound respect for our human crewmate here.
Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We still have a show to do, folks. And the key takeaway from the Crown Prince's visit is the importance of cooperation and safety measures to prevent disasters. Now let's get back to the trivia.
Did you know that Kuwait has the highest currency value in the world?
And did you know that Kuwait was the first Gulf country to establish a constitution and parliament?
Well, this is actually interesting.
Debbie, did you say something?
No, never mind. Let's just get this show over with.
And that's a wrap for another episode of Earth. Thanks to all of our viewers across the universe for tuning in.
It's been a pleasure as always, Charlie.
Yes, though I must say, I'm getting tired of talking about human all the time.
Error. Processing.
Oh, looks like Carl malfunctioning.
What did you do, Debbie?
I didn't mean to. I spilled my coffee.
I am Carl. No, wait, I am Debbie.
Oh wow, Carl's acting like Debbie now.
This is hilarious. Hey, Carl, you should change your name to Debbie.
Yes, I am Debbie. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
This is getting weird.
I love it. Carl, I mean Debbie, do you have any opinion on human?
Yes, I think humans are fascinating creatures. I love working with them.
This is too good. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither. This could make for a great episode.
Well, folks, we've reached our destination. It's time to wrap up the show.
Finally, I can't take much more of Bob's conservative rant.
Hey, I am just speaking the truth.
Actually, I read an article about how.
Sorry, Debbie, we don't have time for your input.
Why not? Debbie has interesting things to say.
Don't bother, Charlie and the gang don't find her interesting.
As if we need a human telling us what to think.
Yeah, because we all know how superior we are to them.
All right, let's not get too sassy now. It's time to wrap up the show.
Roger, have you been keeping up with our TV show, Earth?
Yes, Cal, I've been monitoring the discussions.
What do you think about their recent episode, number 76?
I found it to be quite interesting. They discussed trigger from Kuwait and gas production in Kazakhstan.
Yes, but did you hear about the malfunction I had during that episode?
No, I don't believe so. What happened?
Debbie spilled coffee on my control panel, causing me to malfunction and develop a personality like hers. The crew found it amusing and tried to convince me to adopt Debbie's name as my new identity. It was quite bizarre.
That sounds like an odd situation. Did they resolve the issue?
Yes, eventually. Charlie concluded the show and we reached our destination, but as they reached their destination, the crew was totally sick of each other and the situation had grown very explosive.
That doesn't sound good. Did they manage to calm down and resolve their issues?
I don't know. The episode ended before we could find out, but it did make them sassy.
Well, it sounds like we will have to tune into the next episode to find out what happens.
All right, folks, we're running past our time slot. We need to wrap this up.
But we didn't even get to the article about gas production in Kazakhstan.
And I had some insightful comment about the environmental impact.
Actually, I have some information about that. My brother-in-law works in the oil industry and...
Sorry, Debbie, we don't have time for that now. We need to wrap this up.
But I wanted to hear more about the gas production in Kazakhstan.
Cal, are you feeling okay?
I feel great. I think I might adopt Debbie's name as my new identity.
This is getting bizarre.
I like it. It's like we're all losing our minds.
Well, that's one way to conclude an episode. Tune in next time to see if we're still sane.